June 13th will change everything. Archangel Michael's secret warning revealed. There are moments when heaven chooses to pause the rhythm of time and insert a divine interruption into the affairs of man. June 30th is not just a square on the calendar, not merely another passage in the cycle of months. No, this is a threshold, a cosmic gate that only the spiritually awake will recognize. It is a divine borderland, a crossing between what was and what must now come. And standing at this threshold is none other than Archangel Michael, heaven's warrior, God's chief messenger of fire and justice, who now sounds a warning, long sealed, now unsealed, and it carries your name. This message is not for the masses. It was never meant to be diluted by noise or drowned in distraction. This word has been surgically assigned, targeted like an arrow straight into the hearts of the chosen, the remnant, the awakened, the misread and misunderstood ones. The message was hidden in silence for a reason. It required a moment such as this, one of spiritual sensitivity, one of sacred obedience. For only in stillness will the soul hear it. Only in surrender can the spirit absorb it. The noise of this world, the clamor of routine, the distractions of the flesh, these things will mask the voice. But for those who quiet the storm within, the voice of Michael will ring clear, like thunder from the throne. Heaven has released a sealed communication, and June 13th marks its unveiling. This is no general word, no abstract notion to be casually heard and quickly forgotten. This is a spiritual dispatch, marked by divine urgency. A scroll written with heavenly ink hath been opened. What is written on it concerns you, your past battles, your current testing, your future release. It is about what will change, not just in your surroundings but in you. A spiritual pivot is underway, and you are at the center of it. What occurs around this day will not just shape moments, it will echo across lifetimes, creating generational ripples that only eternity will fully measure. But here is the truth, not everyone will perceive this change. Not everyone will feel the tremble in the spirit. Only the spiritually sensitive, those attuned to heaven's breath, those who can hear what is not said, those who feel what has not yet occurred, will catch the signal. Michael's message is layered. It is encrypted in spiritual code, discernible only through prayer, fasting, and divine discernment. If you've been sensing something, if your sleep has been broken, if your peace has been fragile, if your heart has felt the pressure of invisible weight, you are not imagining it. You are feeling the approach of the divine interruption. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword not in rage, but in righteous defense. He stands before the veil that separates heaven and earth, and his voice calls out, "Prepare. Be still. Tune in." A divine interruption is on the horizon. Not to destroy, but to redirect, not to delay, but to deliver. You've been walking one path, but what comes on June 13th will cause a shift so profound. It will feel like heaven reached down and turned the page of your destiny before your very eyes. It will feel sudden, but it has long been scheduled. This is not random. It is prophetic appointment. And so, I speak to you now not just to inform, but to prepare. The time is short. The heavens have already begun to move. Decisions made in this window will not just affect you. They will affect those tied to your calling. Therefore, still yourself. Sharpen your hearing. Refuse distraction. Refuse delay. For when the Spirit moves, it will not wait for the unready. And when Michael speaks, it is not to impress, it is to ignite. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. Within the next 72 hours, your reality will bend. There is a trembling in the unseen realm, a stirring that only the spirit can feel. The earth may seem quiet, but heaven is roaring. Archangel Michael now stands fully armored, his sword unsheathed, positioned at the edge of time, piercing through the veil. His gaze is fixed on those chosen by divine selection, those whom the world overlooked, but whom heaven has crowned in silence. If you are hearing this, you have been summoned. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't just another message. This is your invitation into divine alignment. The countdown has begun. Within 72 hours, the atmosphere will thicken, the veil will thin, and your reality, as you know it, will begin to twist, tear, and transform. Not by human hands, not by your own doing, but by a divine orchestration that has long been in motion, waiting for you to awaken to it. You've felt it coming, haven't you? The patter, the arrest, that sense that something is shifting, not just around you but inside you. That is heaven knocking on the door of your obedience. Michael did not draw his sword in haste. He drew it in timing. He drew it for you. Not to war against man, but to war for your alignment, your breakthrough, your release. He has been held back by divine instruction until now. Because now, this moment, is the appointed time. This message was sealed until you were ready to receive it. Heaven doesn't waste warnings, and Michael only delivers them when the shift is irreversible. Child of destiny, your spirit hath been feeling what your mind cannot articulate. This message comes not to comfort your flesh, but to awaken your soul. The silence you've been forced into wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Stillness is heaven's classroom. Obedience is heaven's doorway. And right now, Michael is standing in that doorway, calling your name with fire in his voice. He does not speak in riddles. He speaks in rhythms, and only those who enter the Spirit will understand the meaning behind the movement. Heaven is speaking in codes. Your ears cannot decode it. Only your spirit can. Do you hear it? That whisper in the tension. That thunder behind your closed eyes. That gentle pull to withdraw. It's not paranoia. It's prophetic signal. You are being invited to go deeper, higher, farther. But to do so, something must break open in you. Something must yield. You cannot walk through this door carrying old habits, outdated mindsets, or expired attachments. Michael's sword does not just fight, it separates. You felt the tremors, the discomfort in conversations, that sudden loss of peace, the dreams that started to fragment, the familiar places that no longer feel safe. These are not accidents. These are warnings, divine notifications. The atmosphere is shifting because you are shifting. The enemy has seen it. Heaven has declared it. But now, you must walk in it. You were not created for passive survival. You were not chosen to blend in and remain muted in a world crying out for voices of clarity. You were not called to spiritual numbness. The Holy Spirit is stirring your waters because He is about to breathe fire into your destiny. And when He does, everything around you, the lies, the distractions, the demonic resistance, must bow. There is a call going forth. Who will hear? Who will obey? Who will rise? Within the next 72 hours, a decision must be made. You are standing at a divine fork in the road. And though it may not appear as a grand choice to others, in the spirit realm, it is monumental. Your posture right now, your obedience in this hour, will determine how the shift lands in your life. Let it be known. Those who delay will be delayed, but those who discern and obey will be accelerated. Michael says this message is fire, not for warmth, but for purging, not to entertain, but to awaken. He is calling warriors, not watchers, chosen ones, not casual listeners. You've been feeling displaced because heaven is repositioning you. You've been misunderstood because heaven is redefining you. You've been quieted because heaven is about to reveal you. This warning is not to scare, it is to separate. The sensitive will hear. The stubborn will miss. The surrendered will receive. And the chosen will rise. Silence your space. Enter prayer. Light your spiritual altar. Cast. Repent. Realign. Heaven is speaking, not to the crowd, but to you. And when this shift begins, it will not announce itself with ceremony. It will come in whispers, in nudges, in divine interruptions. It will come when you least expect it, but exactly when heaven scheduled it. Your soul is already responding. Your spirit is leaning forward. Let this be your invocation. Let this be your return to alignment. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. You felt it, haven't you? The unease. A sudden disruption in what once felt familiar. The glances that last a beat too long. The laughter that feels forced. The energy in the room that shifts when you enter, like everyone knows something, but no one dares to speak. These are not just social anomaly. These are spiritual signals. Heaven is alerting you through divine discomfort. And Archangel Michael says, pay attention, but do not panic. You are being shown what cannot yet be spoken. You are not imagining the emotional friction. You are not losing touch. What you're sensing is accurate. Someone near you has shifted. Your spirit is not the same. On the surface they smile. They dog. They share updates. But underneath that, something has cracked. Your alignment with you, once safe, now feels foreign. Do not ignore that. Discern it. Heaven is peeling back veils in your emotional world so you will not be trapped by false peace. There have been whispers behind closed doors. Conversations cloaked in spiritual static. They haven't said everything, but they've said enough to stir atmosphere. They haven't spoken truth, but they've spread suggestion. And your soul, anointed and alert, is catching it all. You can't prove it with facts, but you feel it in your bones. A heaviness, that sense of being watched, that subtle withdrawal of people who once praised you openly, is all part of the preparation, not for confrontation but for clarity. You see, the enemy works in shadow plays and subtle manipulations. He doesn't attack with volume. He attacks with suggestion. And right now, he's attempting to infect your emotional space so that you self-destruct before the shift of June 13th completes. But Michael says, observe with power. Do not react. Do not chase. Do not confront. What? Because God is allowing them to reveal themselves through spiritual misalignment. Every stare, every awkward moment, every emotional tension, it's part of the unmasking. Those around you feel the shift before you even see it. They sense the rising in you, even if they don't understand it. And because they do not understand, they project fear. And where there is fear, there is gossip. Where there is insecurity, there is silence. But hear this clearly. They don't know everything. They suspect. They feel. But they don't know what heaven has been building inside you. The restlessness you feel at night. The broken dreams. The sudden wake-ups at 3:00 a.m. That is not random. That is spiritual turbulence. It's your soul responding to divine codes being released in your sleep. Heaven is updating your destiny in the quiet while the earth tries to confuse your emotions in the day. That is why you must protect your heart right now. Do not overshare. Do not plead for understanding. Guard your emotional gates. Because what heaven is doing in you will be misunderstood by those who only know the old version of you. You are no longer spiritually where they left you. That's why conversations feel strained. That's why your presence unsettles them. You've outgrown the narrative they placed you in, and your spirit now blows with a frequency they don't recognize. But Michael says, let them feel the friction. Do not dim your eyes to comfort their fear. Everything is being disrupted so that everything can be realigned. The false is being shaken. The hidden motives are surfacing. The spiritually dormant relationships are being exposed. And all of it is necessary, because you cannot walk into June 13th carrying misaligned souls tied to your ankles. So what must you do? Withdraw internally, even if you remain physically present. Smile but observe. Engage but don't invest. Let your spirit take notes. Because very soon heaven will show you who's been for you and who's been near you only for what you carry. And when that day comes, you will not weep, you will rejoice. Because everything hidden must come to light before you walk through the gate that's been set before you. Michael says, remain still. Hold your fire. The revelation is near. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with a contribution of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Make sure to subscribe for more prophetic revelations, spiritual guidance, and life-shifting truths that will keep you aligned and empowered. Type I am awake in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is moving in your atmosphere. What you are walking through is not chaos. It is divine calibration. The shaking is not punishment. It is purification. The conflict around you is not random. It is strategic, crafted to separate what was never meant to survive the next level. Listen closely. You are not losing. You are being filtered. You are being tested. You are being trusted. And the more painful the process, the greater the oil it produces. The people misunderstanding you right now, the ones misrepresenting your silence, they don't see that heaven has you under sacred observation. You've been hidden, not because you failed, but because God is preparing your unveiling. Every spiritual giant, every carrier of fire, was misunderstood before their moment of release. And you, too, are being sculpted through silence. The attacks that found you lately, emotional, relational, even physical, were not launched because of who you were. No, they came because of who you are becoming. The enemy is not confused. He sees the glow forming around you. He sees the divine markings that heaven has stamped upon your name. And so he attacks not your past, but your prophetic future. He is trying to distort your mirror before you see the fullness of your own reflection. But you must know this. Heaven has already marked you. The seal of destiny hath been pressed onto your soul, and every force of darkness that attempts to interrupt your forward motion is doing so in reaction to your divine glow. Hell only reacts to what it fears. Your presence has stirred ancient opposition, not because you are weak, but because you are spiritually armed. Your silence lately, it has not been weakness. It has been weaponry, strategic, anointed. Holy. You didn't clap back. You didn't fight fire with fire. You held your peace. And in the spirit realm, that silence was louder than any argument. You used the discipline of the divine to protect your oil. You didn't explain yourself. You elevated silently. What you're in now is not a social conflict. It's not emotional warfare. It's a divine chessboard. And heaven is moving pieces in the dark, aligning you, removing obstacles, exposing counterfeits. Michael says you are not being attacked. You are being positioned. Every lie spoken about you is a footstool for the truth that's about to rise. Every delay is a setup. Every betrayal is a breadcrumb leading you to your throne. You've been surveilled, not just by earthly eyes, but by demonic systems that are trying to discern how much heaven you carry. And they've come to one conclusion. You are too dangerous to be left unbothered. But what they don't understand is this. Your battles have already been accounted for. Heaven scheduled the opposition and built your resilience accordingly. The attack is loud, yes, but your assignment is louder. Michael stands beside you, sword drawn, declaring over you, this is holy ground. This is sacred conflict. This is prophetic warfare. You are not fighting to survive. You are fighting to occupy. You are fighting to inherit. And your weapon is not retaliation. It is revelation. You are seeing the bigger picture now. You are moving with precision. You are no longer reactive. You are reigning. This is not the end. This is the evidence that the new beginning is in motion. Type I am armored in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1144 is igniting around you now. There is a conversation, either already spoken or soon to be spoken, and your name is in it. But not in light, not in love, not in truth. A room has hosted your mention, but not your presence. They said your name, but heaven heard it first, and before the echo could spread, it was intercepted. What was meant to plant confusion is being filtered through the courts of heaven. Archangel Michael has stepped in, sword drawn, wings stretched. He stands between what was spoken in darkness and the destiny heaven is birthing in you. There is a warning, and it is not subtle. You are walking on sacred ground, but the enemy is trying to twist the soil beneath your feet. People, even some close to you, have become vessels of miscommunication. Not because they fully understand what they are doing, but because they are being used. The enemy loves to speak in fragments, to deliver half-truths wrapped in personal bias, to drop pieces of distorted stories into willing ears. And within the next 72 hours, those fragments may attempt to surface in your atmosphere. But you must not panic. You must not scramble to respond. You must stand still, because you have already been prepared. Heaven has gone before you. What you're about to overhear, sense, or even accidentally discover is not new to the Spirit. The Holy Spirit has been building a wall around your emotions, anchoring your discernment, and whispering clarity in advance. This is not a surprise. This is a confirmation. You may hear something said about you. You may feel the sting of misrepresented moments. You may sense a wave of judgment being crafted without your invitation. But let this truth settle deep in your spirit. What is being said behind your back is already being reversed in the Spirit. God is intercepting the enemy's narrative. Heaven does not react, it prepares. And everything spoken about you in darkness will serve as fuel for the fire God is placing in your feet. Michael says, do not chase clarity in carnal places. The shift will reveal the source. The alignment will expose the agenda. You don't need to confront, just observe and wait. Let the Lord finish what He started. Let the silence do the lifting. Because those who speak about you without light will soon find themselves silenced by elevation they cannot explain. A shift is coming. A spiritual earthquake that will shake alliances, uncover motives, and reveal where loyalty was never planted. This will not be the kind of confrontation you expect, because heaven will handle it without your involvement. You don't need to walk into the room where your name was bruised. You don't need to correct their memory. God is your advocate. And Michael, his messenger, has already cut off the arrows mid-flight. Let your posture be stillness. Let your reply be silence. Let your movement be sacred. Because what is trying to trigger you is not just personal. It's prophetic warfare. The enemy isn't looking for gossip. He's looking for your distraction. He knows that if he can break your focus, he can delay your emergence. But what he did account for is this. You've grown. You've matured. You've stopped explaining. You've started ascending. So now you wait. Now you watch. And in this waiting, heaven will unveil. The next few days will carry unusual interactions. People may act off. Some may go silent. Others may overcompensate. Do not be deceived. Their behavior is reacting to your breakthrough's approach. And when June 13th comes, the full shape of the plot will surface, not to harm you, but to promote you. This is divine reversal at work, and all you must do is stay in position. Type "I am grounded" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 8844 is unlocking your spiritual stability. Withdraw. Not in fear, but in spiritual wisdom. Pull back from the noise. Pull away from the clutter. The guidance of heaven in this hour is not to confront, not to declare war, but to move unseen. Your silence is your strategy. Your fasting is your fortress. Your restraint is your resistance. What the world calls passivity, heaven calls precision. And what Michael now instructs is not to be taken lightly, because every motion you make in this window is either building your protection or risking your exposure. The battle is loud. The distractions are multiplying. But your victory is formed in stillness. Not in the stillness of idleness, but in the sacred stillness of obedience. The quietness that only those under divine command can maintain. You are not retreating. You are being recalibrated. Hidden for now, but not forgotten. Watched over, not overlooked. Shielded, not stagnant. The Spirit says, do not explain yourself to those who lack spiritual access. Do not plead for understanding from those deaf to divine instruction. Let your silence carry the weight of heaven's authority. In this moment, every step must be consecrated. Every conversation must be filtered. Every exposure must be approved by the Spirit. What seems small to others is sacred in this hour. The enemy would love nothing more than for you to speak carelessly, to reveal plans prematurely, to post instead of pray. But you are being called higher. You are being told to cloak your next move in prayer. Fast as the Spirit leads. Declare protection scriptures in the morning. Seal your name in the evening. Speak Psalm 91 with intentionality. Surround yourself with worship. Protect your gates, eyes, ears, and mouth, because in this season, you are not just fighting for peace, you are hosting the glory of God. A hedge has been placed around your name, a spiritual perimeter that the enemy cannot breach unless you open it through disobedience. So now is the time to be sober, to be vigilant, to be strategic. Michael says the hedge is active, reinforce it. Your declarations matter. Your posture matters. Your prayer life is now a defensive shield. Every whisper of prayer, every moment of solitude, Every tear cried in hidden places is a shield forming in the spirit. The war may be loud, but heaven's voice is still louder. And right now, the divine assignment is clear. Move less, listen more. Every motion in silence is accumulating momentum in the spirit realm. Every refusal to speak without the spirit's leading is a victory. Every fast, even partial, is releasing breakthrough angels on your behalf. Do not underestimate the quiet. Do not despise the stillness. Your protection is being multiplied in silence. Heaven is not asking for perfection. Heaven is asking for alignment. You may stumble, but stay close to the altar. You may feel overwhelmed, but stay hidden under his wing. For it is written, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." This is not poetic. That is prophetic armor. You are under surveillance, not by man, but by heaven. The angels are tracking your alignment. Michael is moving through shadows on your behalf. You don't need to post. You don't need to prove. You just need to protect. This is your sacred charge. This is your divine instruction. And when the world questions your quiet, let heaven recognize your power. Type "I am hidden in him" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 4411 is releasing divine covering over your path. You have crossed the line. Not a line drawn in sand, but a line etched in spirit. The border between the version of you that once tolerated spiritual survival and the version of you now rising into divine dominion. You are not who they remember. You are not where they left you. And the next time they look for the old you, they'll only find ashes, because what once was hath been consumed in fire. You've been reborn through obedience, refined by silence, reintroduced by heaven. The shift has already started. You can feel it in your walk, in your voice, in the way your spirit no longer bends for spaces that no longer carry your oil. You're not adjusting anymore. You're ascending. You're not waiting for permission. You've been given a sword. You don't walk, you glide, with the wind of heaven beneath your steps. What once broke you now builds you. What once weakened you now worships through you. Archangel Michael has whispered it into your atmosphere. The ashes have formed wings. Every storm, every loss, every betrayal that tried to bury you became the fuel that ignited your flight. What the enemy sent as dirt, heaven used as depth. You've learned to breathe in pressure. You've learned to grow in isolation. You've become anointed in the shadows. And now, without apology, you are rising. The weapons formed against you, it now misfire. Why? Because your spirit has changed frequencies. The words that used to wound you now pass through you like wind. The manipulations that used to distract you now make you laugh. You have transcended fear. You've outrun shame. You've stopped bleeding for battles that heaven never called you to fight. This isn't arrogance. This is alignment. You're not seeking validation. You're standing in identity. You know who you are, and more importantly, you know whose you are. You are a royal priesthood, set apart not by title but by transformation. What they dismissed in you, God crowned. What they rejected in you, heaven protected. And now, you've stepped into a new rhythm. One that doesn't respond to everything. One that doesn't flinch at false fire. This shift is not just internal. It is prophetic. And it is visible. Your countenance has changed. Your presence stirs rooms. People stare a second longer, trying to understand what shifted, not knowing that you've been on the mountain with God. You've carried burdens silently, but now you carry authority. Not loud, not boastful, but bold. Holy boldness, sacred strategy, fire wrapped in stillness. You are no longer reactive. You are responding from the throne. You are no longer triggered. You are trained. You are no longer exhausted. You are energized by purpose. And Archangel Michael stands beside you, not just protecting you, but celebrating you. Because you've passed tests that most didn't see. You've been refined in ways that couldn't be explained. And now you walk with wisdom in one hand and fire in the other. This empowerment is heaven's gift, not for performance but for purpose. You've been entrusted with insight, anointed for intercession, called to disrupt darkness. You are no longer surviving. You are beginning to reign. And the places that once controlled your emotions, you now stand above them with graceful authority. You are dangerous to darkness because you are no longer desperate for deliverance. You are walking as the deliverer. Heaven is using your voice, your presence, your posture, and every place your foot touches is marked by divine assignment. So don't shrink. Don't second guess. Don't apologize for the glory you carry. It's not pride, it's positioning. It's not ego, it's elevation. You've been broken, yes. But now, you've been breathed upon. Empowered not by noise, but by knowing. And now, your life speaks even when your mouth is closed. Type "I am rising" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 9922 is empowering your atmosphere with divine movement. This moment, June 13th, was spoken over you before you were even born. Before your parents held you. Before your name was whispered on earth. It was declared in heaven. This day was etched into your spiritual journey with divine precision. The turbulence, the confusion, the betrayals, the spiritual noise, all of it has led here. Because June 13th is not just a date, it is a gate. This gate does not swing open for everyone. It responds only to obedience. It reacts only to the postured heart. And you, yes, you, are standing in front of it right now. Attention you feel. It's the weight of prophecy pressing against the threshold. The unease you've carried. It's the final stretch before the unlocking. And heaven wants you to understand something sacred. This is not punishment. It is preparation. You haven't been ignored. You've been positioned. You haven't been punished. You've been protected. The reason why the favor seemed delayed, because what's about to be released had to be sealed until your spirit was ready. You would have misused it before. You would have lowered it to impress the wrong crowd. But now your heart has been humbled. Now your ears are tuned. Now your hands are open. And now, heaven says, this is your unlocking. Michael has held the line until this moment. Now, the scroll has been opened, and your name is written on it, not in ink but in fire. You've been appointed for new territory, not geographical, but spiritual, emotional, prophetic. The places you will walk into now will not be for validation, but for dominion. You are stepping into atmospheres that have been waiting for your arrival. You are entering battles that heaven already won. And you are carrying a presence that will shift environments silently. On June 13th, the heavens shift. The sky over you adjusts. The momentum turns. You will feel it in your bones, in your spirit, in the way doors begin to open without you pushing. Things will fall off. People will walk away. Clarity will flash like lightning. All of it is confirmation that the gate is open. And you, if you obey, will walk through it unhindered. This prophetic moment cannot be bought. It cannot be forced. It must be received. It is a spiritual gift wrapped in divine timing. You are being called to steward it, to honor it, to protect it, and most of all, to act on it. For some of you, this means releasing something. For others, it means finally starting what fear delayed. But for all of you, it means saying yes. Yes to the call. Yes to the gate. Yes to the version of yourself you've glimpsed in visions but never dared to believe. That version is real. And June 13th is the doorway to it. Heaven has declared your name. The Spirit has spoken over your steps. And Michael now says, walk. Move. Rise. This is your moment. This is your crossing. What you do next will echo for generations. And you won't have to explain the shift. Those who were assigned to your journey will feel it. They will know heaven is speaking through you. So take it. Embrace it. Let this revelation be your activation. And as you walk through the gate, understand this. You were always meant to. Every battle, every loss, every delay, every unanswered prayer, all of it brought you here, not broken but built, not forgotten but for gold. If this message stirred something in you, consider giving a super thanks with a gift of $10 to support more powerful prophetic content like this. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Don't forget to subscribe for more life-shifting words, divine timings, and angelic revelations released just for you. Type I receive the gate in the comments if you hear this word. Blessing code 1010 is opening your prophetic path. Speak it aloud now, even before you fully see it. I walk in divine timing and authority. Let the truth rest on your tongue like fire, because heaven is listening for agreement. This isn't just positive affirmation. This is destiny ignition. You are not waiting for fate to be kind. You are stepping into the script already written by God. June 13th is not arriving to bless random activity. It is showing up to honor alignment, activation, and obedience. Everything you've walked through, the storms, the betrayals, the silence, the sacred breaking, has brought you to this moment. And now, the scroll is open. Your name is shining. The heavens are awaiting your yes, your surge, your motion. Because destiny does not respond to passivity. It responds to faith in action. It does not bend to comfort. It bends to conviction. You must understand this now. Your words are weapons. Your declarations are votes in the spirit realm. When you say yes to your calling, you are casting a vote into heaven's courts, and the angels respond. When you speak life, heaven amplifies that sound, echoing it through dimensions, creating waves of movement and breakthrough. This is not the time to be silent. This is the hour to prophesy over your own path. Speak it again. I walk in divine timing and authority. With every syllable, you are authorizing heaven to do what hell fears, to manifest the next version of you. The one that's been hidden behind fear. The one who stopped halfway last time. The one who almost gave up but held on anyway. That version is now being summoned. Fasting, journaling, sacred consecration. These are not religious rituals in this hour. They are tools of activation. They are keys to unlock the code inside your spirit. For too long, you've been waiting for an external sign. But heaven has been waiting for an internal agreement. Your silence will not move the gate, but your surrender will. The Spirit says, move and I will mirror your motion. Obey, and I will open what eyes have not seen. Here is something you are supposed to start. Something you've been circling, A step. A launch. A call. And every time you hesitated, fear grew louder. But hear this. Fear is the parasite of delay. Every time you choose hesitation, you choose to trade heaven's pace for earth fear. But now, right now, you are being offered a divine window of momentum. June 13th opens a gate that will not wait for hesitation. It will wing for faith. Archangel Michael says, this moment is not casual. It is coded. And if you move now, if you respond now, the alignment will be supernatural. People will come. Provision will unlock. Hidden paths will emerge. What? Because your yes is the signal. Your obedience is the permission heaven needs to unleash what's already waiting in the spirit. This is not just for you. Your yes is tied to people you've never met. Your motion will deliver someone else's confirmation. Your breakthrough is connected to bloodlines. Generations are waiting for your obedience. The enemy knows this. That's why the attacks have been so subtle, not to destroy your body, but to distract your discipline. But today you rise again, not randomly but intentionally. You are not waiting for activation. You are the activation. You are the door that opens other doors. You are the spark that sets off divine fire in regions you haven't even entered yet. And this is why June 13th is not just a shift for you. It is a shift through you. So rise. Task. Write the vision. Prepare. Build the altar. Speak boldly. Heaven has sent angels ahead of you, but you must now catch up to what's been prepared. Your yes is not emotional. It is eternal. And once it's spoken, all of creation will begin to adjust to make space for the path you've accepted. Type ISAYYES in the comments if this word is for you. Blessing code 1717 is initiating your divine commissioning. While you sleep, heaven works. And even now, as your flesh rests and your mind forgets the hours, your spirit continues to move, negotiating, battling, and trading in the realm of eternity. You may think your dreams are scattered, your nights restless, your thoughts unclear. But I tell you this in the authority of Michael, heaven's chief messenger, your name is being whispered in glory. What was delayed is being reordered. What was denied is being repurposed. There is a solid exchange taking place, an unseen negotiation in the high places. Curses are being traded for crowns. Past regrets are being exchanged for prophetic mantles. The spiritual courtrooms are in session. And your blood, your worship, your intercession, they are all testifying on your behalf. This is why you've been weeping without explanation. This is why you've been waking up between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. feeling the pull but not knowing the purpose. It restlessness. It wasn't anxiety, it was the trembling of arrival. Your spirit knows what your mind hasn't caught up to. Something has been unlocked. The gate has opened. The scroll has shifted. And your name was not only written, it was released. Michael has been at work, not in loud display, but in stealth and precision. He is part of the silent army heaven sends when the war is too delicate for noise. He's not just fighting on your behalf. He's scheduling your deliverance, aligning spiritual trades behind the veil, and defending your name where you cannot reach. And in these hours of seeming quiet, more has shifted in your life than you could ever shift in a lifetime of effort. Your pain was not wasted, it was currency. Your obedience was not invisible, it was evidence. You have paid the cost, not in gold or silver, but in silence, tears, restraint, and trust. And heaven honors those kinds of offerings. You didn't curse God when it got dark. You didn't quit the altar when you were ignored. You stayed. You stayed low. You stayed faithful. And now, you are being repaid in a language only your spirit can understand. This is why relationships have suddenly broken. Why opportunities seem to vanish. It wasn't sabotage. It was sacred subtraction. Heaven has been clearing the stage for your entrance. And now, while others sleep in distraction, you are being dressed in divine garments. Angelic robes. Prophetic oil. The robe of the called. The cloak of the preserved. Michael speaks this now over you. This is why you wept. Your spirit felt the unlocking. Your soul knew the gate was opening. And now, your name has gone ahead of you. Every business idea, every ministry calling, every creative assignment, it's been activated in the spirit before it ever touches the earth. All you must do now is catch up to what's already yours. You're not late. You're not forgotten. You're not behind. You are right on time with eternity. But what comes next requires even greater stillness, even deeper consecration. For the silent exchange continues. Every hour you worship, every second you submit, every word you don't say. These are all currencies in this next dimension. Let them talk. Let them assume. You are trading shadows for light. You are exchanging past chains for present crowns. What was whispered in darkness about you will soon be shouted in light, not by man, but by God Himself. So rest tonight, but rest strategically. Sleep with expectation. Pray before you close your eyes. Anoint your room, and whisper back to heaven, I receive the exchange. Type I receive the trade in the comments. Blessing code 3030 is unlocking angelic acceleration over your life. What was meant to destroy you will now be the very reason you rise. The betrayal you never saw coming. It didn't break you, it crowned you. The rejection that tried to hollow your soul has now become the womb of your next realm. And heaven declares this plainly through Archangel Michael. They touched what was anointed, and that is called trespass. Spiritual justice is not delayed. It is precise. It is holy. And it is already underway. The scales are shifting, and not quietly. They are tilting in your favor by fire. What was hidden is about to be exposed. What was denied is about to be delivered with interest. You did not fight for vengeance, and because of that, vindication will not come through your hands, but through His. Divine reversal is not an apology, it's an announcement. And heaven is making that announcement through your eyes. They laughed at your stillness. They mocked your quiet obedience. They mistook your withdrawal as weakness. But they didn't realize that while you were being overlooked by man, you were being overseen by heaven. Your name was under surveillance. Not for good to overyested. Not for punishment, but for positioning. And now, the trumpet of reversal has sounded. You see, God doesn't just restore. He reverses. He takes what was sent to break you and bends it back into your favor. What they planned as harm will become your platform. The lie they told will be the very thing that gives God glory when the truth explodes. The shame they tried to attach to your name will now serve as the soil where honor grows. Michael has stepped into the space between you and the accuser. His sword has severed the last rope of false alliance. His voice has silenced every whisper of false witness. Heaven is not quiet. The angels have been dispatched. And what happens next will feel like divine whiplash, sudden elevation, immediate access, unexpected favor. You won't have to prove your innocence. You won't have to explain your story. The Spirit of God Himself will do the unveiling. And when they see it, when they see what you survived, when they see what you've become, They will marvel, not at your strength, but at God's strategy. You were hidden because your unveiling had to be flawless. Not for man's applause, but for divine demonstration. And now, the time has come. The reversal is not just spiritual, it will be seen. Public. Clear. Undeniable. The enemies of your soul are confused. They thought they'd succeeded, but they only pushed you into a deeper level of divine reliance. They thought they'd bury you, but they didn't know you were seed. And now, your harvest is undeniable. The people who mishandled you will soon see that it wasn't personal, it was prophetic. You were marked. And because of that, their mishandling came at a heavenly cost. God is not petty, but He is just. And justice in the spirit realm does not operate on rumor. It moves on righteousness. You kept your posture. You refused to retaliate. You endured in silence. And now, justice is your portion. Everything you thought was lost, every opportunity, every relationship, every door, will now be returned with interest. Not just what was stolen, but what was delayed. Time itself will submit to this reversal. And what would have taken years will now take months. What should have taken months will now take days. Divine acceleration is part of divine reversal. Michael declares, "You were never forgotten. You were never forsaken. You were simply being prepared for justice the way only heaven could design it. So rejoice not in their downfall, but in your rise. Let the victory be holy. Let the celebration be sacred. Let the glory point upward." If this message has pierced your spirit, consider supporting the release of more prophetic words like this through a $5 super thanks. Your seed helps us keep this fire flowing. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And remember to subscribe for more divine warnings, heavenly instructions, and angelic revelations sent to prepare, protect, and propel you. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments if you receive this reversal. Blessing code 5555 is flooding your field with divine recompense. You are sealed. You are seen. You are surrounded by heaven. As June 30th approaches, this is not a time to fear. This is a time to birth. Not pain, not chaos, but purpose. June 30th is not merely a date on a calendar. It is the spiritual delivery room of your new era. You've carried this for too long in secret. You've bled in silence. You've prayed with groans too deep for language. But now it breaks forth. Heaven has waited for this hour. The angels have watched you endure with grace. And now, the trumpet has sounded. The portal is open. And the Spirit announces loudly, "This is not a warning. This is a birth announcement. You are not the same. And from this day forward, your life will not be measured by what was, but by what emerged. You are being reintroduced, not to impress, not to explain, but to fulfill. Your identity is no longer tied to old wounds, old rooms, or old voices. You are heaven's response to a broken world. You are God's answer to generational questions. And now, you will walk not just as one who survived it, but as one who was strategically sent. The next time they see you, they won't recognize your language. They won't recognize your stride. They won't recognize your peace. Why? Because you are walking in anointing. An anointing forged in silence, cried out through pain, refined through fire, and now released for impact. You will move with purpose, not aimlessly, not reactively, but intentionally. Every step, every word, every decision will drip with revelation. You will speak and atmospheres will bend. You will worship and chains will break. You will rest and heaven will work. The old cycle is over. The delay is broken. The fear is cast out. You now move forward as one who is empowered by prophecy, protected by angels, and positioned by design. This message was not a whisper of comfort. It was a war cry of awakening. It was Michael's trumpet. It was heaven's scroll. And now, you know. Let every false label fall. Let every weight be dropped. Let every counterfeit voice be silenced. You are God's vessel. You are marked for more. And heaven has made it clear. June 13th changes everything. So rise. Oh, rain. Not later. Not someday. Now. Type I am empowered in the comments if you receive this final blessing. Blessing code 8888 is now covering you with divine closure and eternal covering.